Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to break down my cover of Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys. I actually had a lot of fun recording this cover, and I've been wanting to record this cover for ages, but I never did it because I didn't really know how to do it. But then I just decided to go for it and do it anyway. So I have two things open, Logic and the original on YouTube. As you can see in my Logic project, I have 44 tracks that I used. We have one piano, a harp, a uke, 3 violin solos, but there is way more violin, if you can see that. There's pizzicato, there's strings. Then I have a lead vocal, a second vocal, and then a bunch of choirs. So what I tried to do with this cover, and the reason why I'm making this video, is because for this one I actually sat down and tried to take as many elements from the original as I could and transform them into my style of cover. Because there's so many elements in the original, I tried to find some of them that I could use in my version. So we're just gonna go skip through the song and I will kind of tell you where I got the elements and what to listen for in my cover. I wanted to start with my piano. The main instrument for my cover in this version was piano. And then I started with 2 vocal lines, a lead vocal and then a second vocal.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Then we wouldn't have to wait so long.
You get the idea. By the way, I didn't take the intro. I liked the intro, but I just didn't know how to transform it into my style, so I didn't use it. I'm very sorry. So in the second verse, in the original, there's a choir that goes ooh, wah, wah, wah. So I tried to take that, and then obviously my cover is slower. So I took the choir and kind of kept it the same, but transformed it a little bit. Then the fun part starts, because Wouldn't It Be Nice is quite a complicated song. There's a lot of different sections that I had a hard time connecting to each other, but I tried my best. After the second verse, you hear an instrument go dun, 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 and it sounds like this. I started with the same melody, I transformed the rhythm a little bit, and then I added a second violin on top to add a bit of harmony. And then in the background you hear some kind of a harpy kind of sound, and it goes dum ba 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 dum. I listened to this song over and over again for years before I covered this, and then towards the end that I actually started recording it, I listened to it on repeat entire days. It's insane. I just found that melody line so interesting that I decided I wanted to have that as well. I transformed the rhythm a little bit again so it fit more into my flow, and I wanted to use an actual instrument for that, so I used the ukulele, but I didn't really like the sound of it because it just sounds like this. In my opinion, it sounded a little bit empty, and I didn't really like the sound as it came out. So I decided to add another instrument in the back to fill it up a little bit. So I also recorded it with MIDI and took a harp sound, which is closer to the original, which I really liked. After about 2 or 3 of those pizzicato thingy lines that you hear, a choir kind of sets in as well and says something with run run in a harmony. It sounds like this. I didn't want to do this in the choir, so I decided to go ahead and add that in the violin, and it sounds like this. I pitched the bass down, as you can see, violin bass. I pitched it down 12 semitones entirely. The reason I did this is because I already tuned my violin down. Obviously the violin can't go lower than the G. I pitched it down to an F sharp or an E to get the lower sound, to get the voice leading the way I wanted it to be. But I found that something was missing, and it was the bass. So I recorded something on the violin and then pitched it down an entire octave. So after that part, there's the 2 voices thing.
We could be married, and then we'd be happy.
I ended up filling that up with a little choir, just really, really soft, nothing major really.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
And then I added another choir. I wanted the elements that we had in the second verse to come back. The ooh, wop, wop, wop. So I decided to add that here as well to make the transition familiar. And in total it sounds like... And then, in the original, you also hear that same melody that we've heard before after the second verse that I changed into the violin. We hear that again. You hear a voice go, ba, 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 ba. I did that again with the violin, but this time I decided to start with the 2 violin melody lines. And I also added a third voice. The third voice on itself isn't very much. It's hardly anything, but I think it still added something to the full thing. By then, we're almost at the end of the song. After this little part, you hear the bass go in a melody, in triads really, go up and down and up and down and up and down. And I really liked that, and also it was the same 2 triads over and over again. I found that really interesting, and you can hear it if you listen carefully for the bass. I just thought that was really interesting, and so I wanted to do that as well, but in a different way. So I decided to go ahead for some violin pizzicato. When I record stuff, I usually write down like a couple of notes, just A or B, or I don't actually write out the note in the score. I just write the letter that belongs to the note, just so I remember what I have to play. For this one, I actually had to fully write it down because I couldn't think that quick. I hardly ever do that. I think this was the first time in maybe a year that I wrote something down again. The full thing sounds like this. And you can actually hear that it's not completely on the same time every single beat. And in the real orchestra, if people would be playing the same pizzicato, it will never be completely synced. So I decided to just leave it. And then we are at the last element, and the last element is again the... You hear that in the original, and it sounds like this. It's a bit more hidden this time, but I also added that in my version. And that's basically my cover. If you're interested in seeing the full video, definitely go check it out. This is a preview of what the full video looks like.
We can say goodnight and stay together. Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up in the morning when the day is blue, and after having spent a day together, hold each other close the whole night through. What happy times together we'd been spending. I wish that every kiss was never ending. Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
And I hope you kind of enjoyed hearing how I made the entire cover in the end and kind of broke it down, the original, and transformed it into mine. I actually really enjoyed covering this, and I'm actually really proud of the result. So I hope you like it as well. Definitely go and listen to it. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down anything you want, and I will reply. And I hope to see you sometime soon, either on my singing channel on Sunday or on this channel again next week. Bye guys!